Hello, good morning, everyone. So today is Friday. It's NFP day, as we all know. So let's see what will happen later for the dollar. But let's have a quick market recap on yesterday's data. Okay, so first things, we have the weekly initial jobless claims for US. So the previous data was 364K and the market forecast at 348. And the release time last night, 8:30 p.m. And for the actual data, it was 326K. So this one, or the actual data, was actually better comparing on the forecast in the previous. But however, for the dollar index, to be specific, it did not create any significant move after the release. Next thing is we have the PMI data for Canada, or the producers purchasing managers index for the month of September. So the previous data was 66 and the market forecast at 64.2. And the release time last night, it was 10 p.m. And for the actual data, it was 70.4. So it beats the market forecast and the previous data, but same goes with the US data last night. So the PMI data for Canada, it should be a high impact news, but however, it did not create a move after the release as well. And for today's economic data during the European session, later at 2 p.m., we have data for Germany. So we have trade balance, imports, and exports for the month of August. Followed by the US session, later at 8:30 p.m., we have employment change and unemployment rate for the month of September for Canada, and also the most awaited data for US, which is the non-farm payrolls for the month of September, or NFP, and also the unemployment rate as well. Okay. And for our key product for today, so we have the USD against the Canadian dollar. So the current price of the USD CAD during the Asian session is around the 1.2548. But as I mentioned earlier, during the US and Canadian data last night, it did not create any significant move after the release. But the price of the USD CAD was actually traded back and forth around the 1.26 area. But as of this moment, it's around the 1.25. Okay. But right here, as we can see on the screen, this one is a good Fibonacci levels right here. And I'm seeing a potential trading setup right here. So the potential trading setup is somewhere around the 1.2566 or the 50% retracement, and also the 61.8 retracement. So based on that, the price is around the 1.2566 and 3 and 1.2574 and 2. So my personal opinion for this chart is, if you understand the structure of this pair, so I can see a selling setup right here. If the price goes up above or around the 1.2566 and 3, then there's a potential that the price might drop around the 1.2558 and 4. And another setup right here around 61.8 territory. So that's 1.2774 and 2. If the market price of the dollar loonie goes up right here, then the potential move on the downside, and with the targets of 1.25, 66, and 3. But however, okay, alternative scenario is if the price pushed higher above the 1.25, 85, and 4, and if it goes up above the 1.25, 1997, then we can see clearly that the market, or this price of the dollar loonie, are retraced for above 100%. Okay, so if that will happen, it means that the trend for the dollar loonie is on the bullish momentum. But as of this moment, I'll take it as a bearish. So as I mentioned again, this one is possible setup for short positions in the price of this dollar CAD. But however, we have NFP data later for the US, and also the unemployment data for the Canadian dollar. So let's see what will happen later. So I'm expecting that this currency will be volatile later. So we have to be cautious for this one. And again, for the European session, again, we have trade balance, imports and exports for Germany. And US session, we have employment change and unemployment rate for Canada, and non-farm payrolls and unemployment rate for US. So both data will be released 8:30 p.m. All right, so thank you everyone for joining our daily briefing today. Stay safe and have a great day.